Hey there, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, June 30th or July 30th, and we have an eviction tonight. This is going to be a quick one. I did a 30-minute podcast yesterday, so today we're just going to blow through things because nothing as far as tonight's eviction has really changed. Was there lots of stuff? Sure. Is it still going to go the way it's going to go? Oh, yeah, probably. So the quick answer is, if Jason doesn't win the blockbuster competition tonight, he's getting voted out. If Jason wins it and then it is between Mallory and Latrice, then Mallory is getting voted out. There's been lots of talk. There's been lots of clips that production can use to make us think that there's a chance. And there's the minuscule of chance, but really not. People are telling people they're going to do it. As an example, Dee is doing a bang-up job of implying she's actually willing to keep Mallory if it's between Mallory and Latrice. She's telling Barrett, I'm willing to do this if we can get it together. And he's like, no, you don't need to sacrifice your game. She knows that Barrett won't go against the crossover alliance. And so she's willing to make it seem like she will, just to get that little bit of extra good will from Barrett. Barrett has gone to all three of the icons, as they are called, and that he's gone to Devon's, said the same thing. You don't have to throw away your game. I'm going to be losing a friend, but the crossovers is more important. He said the same thing to Angela. Now, what has happened in the last 12, 14, 18 hours is Drew's stock, as it were, has significantly nosedived. The guy, and it's funny how many people on the Blue Sky timeline have said they need to raise the age requirement to like 25. That's always funny because, yeah, right. They're not going to. They don't care. And they don't care about good gameplay. They just care about entertaining gameplay. And so, but Drew has just been a bit of a wild card yesterday, and his joking about, I'm going to nominate you, or you're going to nominate me, or we're backstabbing each other. It's funny the first, second, third, maybe even fourth time, but the guy does it constantly. And he did it last night. He's out in the back, and I've posted most of these. When I talk about them, I've probably recorded them and posted them. So this clip is out there on my Blue Sky timeline. First of all, Barrett was having a conversation. I said this was going to be short, and watch me. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole. Barrett was having a conversation with Devons. They had just sat down outside. It's like, oh, this is a good chance for Barrett to, tighten things up with Devons to make sure that they're good with each other, because Drew, as I mentioned, Drew and Barrett are kind of the outsiders on this tool shed alliance at this point. And so I thought I'm more concerned personally about Barrett because he's kind of one of the people I'm really rooting for. And Barrett's having this conversation with Devons like, oh, this is good. They're going to lock it in a little bit better and solidify and everything. And then Drew showed up. And Barrett even said it today when he was talking to Dee. Barrett said, Drew came out and interrupted Devons, and I could feel Devons didn't want to talk. And he really did kind of half shut down. They talked a little bit of game, but during that part, Drew actually says, well, I've been thinking about revealing the Red Corner Alliance to Kamu, that we know it. And, I made a joke about red and blue corners in a boxing ring. And Devon's like, dude, why are you doing this? And he's kind of saying it jokingly, but he ain't joking. He's truly annoyed with Drew for risking this kind of stuff, this kind of talk, and exposing the fact that Drew and Barrett know about the red corner. And so, of course, for Devons, this is throwing up all kinds of red flags. Like, dude, you're joking and you're not serious, and I can't trust you. You're playing with my life here. He said something to that effect to Drew. And they're just kind of laughing, and Barrett's being kind of quiet. And a few minutes later, and again, these are quotes are out there, and I've posted these clips, but, Drew is kind of talking in the third person, or kind of talking like Devons isn't there. It's the way that Drew talks about stuff. He says, yeah, kind of feeling today that Devons isn't as close to me this week as he was last week, or things have kind of gone downhill, or it's a struggle. And that's when, and Devin goes, "Oh, Drew, every day's a struggle." And it was just totally, if Drew couldn't read the writing on the wall, I would have been so fearful. If I was in Drew's, I'd be like, oh my God, I have ticked off, this top level player who was at the top of the food chain, who you don't know has a secret power, who just everything. And I think Barrett's just like cringing. There was a political thing that happened. It's happened. I don't remember what the specific circumstances were, where a certain head of state was saying some really stupid off the wall stuff. And maybe that person's Secretary of State was sitting in the same room and sinking down in their couch next to them like, oh my God, this is so cringy. That's probably how Barrett felt last night as Drew was saying stuff and Devins was kind of not taking it. All right, so I don't know. I went down this rabbit hole, but part of it, again, is back to Barrett trying to make amends with the three icons, knowing that Drew has kind of dug himself a hole. So I'm hopeful that Barrett has kind of done it, but he has said, I'm willing to vote out Mallory. I get it. I mean, the whole problem here is that if Mallory wins the blockbuster, then she's safe. And Jason will get voted out, and that was about the best anybody could hope for. And in theory, no skin off the nose of the crossover alliance, off Drew and Barrett with the other side of the house, as it were. Everything is okay, but they have to prepare for that. And the preparing for that, because of the blockbuster, is just causing things to be really messy. So what else? Camus told Lyric, because he's trying to keep close to Lyric, some would say showmance, but I mentioned yesterday, didn't I, or maybe the day before, that I think that Camus would kind of like to be in a showmance with Haley. And I think Haley kind of has a little bit of a crush on Camus, so keep an eye on that one. But Camus also is trying to keep Lyric close. And Camus, in preparation for this vote tonight, decided he wanted to pre-warn Lyric that, you know what, and this is what he said. He says, you know what, you're welcome to vote to keep Mallory if it's Mallory versus Latrice, but I want you to know that the votes aren't there. So no matter what you're hearing, I'm hearing that the votes aren't there. Now, whatever. It's gameplay. That's what you do. It's setting things up. You're trying to keep all of your people happy in your circle, even if that ruins somebody else's, situation. And he's like, you can't tell anyone that I told you this, though, because we don't want Mallory to suspect. In case she wins, we don't want her to know how close she was to actually going home. And that's what you do. That's how you play. Well, Lyric told Mallory like an hour later, which people expected, and I wasn't surprised totally either. She got her in the gym, and she told her, she warned her. So Mallory knows that she's on super thin ice. And then we saw shortly after that, Mallory talking to Barrett, and Barrett's telling her everything's okay. Whereas Barrett is telling everybody it's okay. I know she's got to go if that's the situation. So it's, for better or worse, this blockbuster, because this is what's the cause of this, is really makes it hard in some ways to keep your ducks in a row on the day, even up to the day of eviction, which again, the TV show folks probably love it. And there are times when it can be good because it is one last second chance for somebody to save themselves. But on the other hand, when things are it just I don't know, it's just annoying. But that's where things are at. Have-nots ended last night. The word have-not got mentioned, or slop got mentioned twice on last night's show. Neither of them were telling you that the person was on slop, but they mentioned not getting enough sleep, or maybe in the slop thing. It just was, Mallory said it on talking about the tea party. It's just have-nots are so stupid. They did show the TV show last night. They showed the tea party. People are asking how accurate was the edit, and honestly, probably as accurate as CBS is ever going to do it. It just would never be that way. But I posted I posted like 30 minutes worth of the tea party on my Blue Sky account. So, go there and check it out if you're interested in seeing it in an unedited form, a straight 30 minutes unedited. It's there. What else to tell you all? I did live stream watching that show last night, and then I stayed on camera because one of our longtime followers, patrons, Ms. Aslan, actually hung around, and other people were hanging around talking, but we had a long conversation, and so it was very fun, very entertaining. I will 99% sure I will be live streaming tonight's live eviction show. I am not going to Chicago. It turns out that Ashley will not be at the viewing party at the bar in Chicago tonight. So not going. Maybe next week. If not next week, one of the upcoming weeks, I will go to Chicago and hang out. So pencil that in, but not this week. Anything else to tell you guys? There's all kinds of stuff, but I really need to go do some work because I've been watching the live feeds too long this morning, and they've now cut away so I can do it. So I'm going to do that. I will see some of you tonight on Twitch/YouTube if you come to check it out. If not, I'll update you tomorrow on what happened, and we'll talk again. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Appreciate all of you, and be well. Enjoy your Thursday, and we'll talk to you all on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.